What I'm curious, how would you counsel someone who longs for change but feels paralyzed by the fear? And not just a clinician, but just
Anyone.
anyone. And
No,
if they came to you, yeah,
yeah,
someone who you were longing for change, or you felt an itch, we all did, and then realized there's got to be more out there. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. This is on autopilot, right?
yes,
The daytime. And here it's a challenge, and it's exciting, and it's improved your both your worlds. You have two worlds, and they've improved, and your
yes,
personal world as well.
yeah.
So for those standing at that cusp where they're really many people are afraid to move forward.
Yeah, I think what we get, and I talk with my clients about this all the time. And I have some and you'd be surprised. I have some very successful people who feel very stuck. Like
Oh, I'm
maybe
not
this is
surprised.
their career
Yeah.
and they're looking for to transition to retirement, but they're afraid of it. Whatever it is, or how they see themselves, they want to do something differently, and it just seems too much. The thing I like to focus on the most is it's so easy to tell me what you can't do, but tell me what you can, right? It's so easy to say, I can't leave my job and have a private practice. No, but what can you do? Can you start talking to private practice? I can't play an instrument, but you can, look at videos on YouTube. What can you do? Right. So that's probably a overused line I use with my clients all the time when they want to set a boundary with their loved ones. And they're like, well, this is how it's always been. All right. So where can we do it? Now, where can we set the limit? What's the easiest step to set a limit with somebody? So it doesn't feel like this big. It only feels this big. And then we work our way up to bigger steps.
And you're focusing on these strengths, which
Yes.
is really, and the accomplishments,
Because
and then
it
trying to
can be
transfer.
overwhelming, especially, if I work a lot of people with behavioral issues and behavior patterns that have been ingrained from childhood. And they feel like, well, I have to be the people pleaser. I have to be, I have had these roles my whole life. And to push back on it is let's just take a little step. Let's just, what can we do? Just pick one thing we can do. And then we build on it.
I'm always struck by how when we are overwhelmed, everything looks huge.
Huge.
And what you did was just partialize it. What they would say, scaffold it, right? The question went back to the strengths and highlighted what somebody's familiar with and what they do very well with, which is wonderful to hear.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm curious with, go ahead.
no, no,
No.
no. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was curious with how did it turn out for you? You have a family and you're trying to start a new practice, and the struggle with trying to keep it going or doing it. What was that like emotionally? Because I think that's a struggle for most people. They will come up with a reason to say that the the negatives will outweigh. They catastrophize. They might, determine that the glass is half empty, and I'm afraid, and they will stop. So when somebody's a family man like yourself, you have a lot weighing on your shoulders. And for others out there who may want to start a business or something, or go back to school, how do you come up with rationalizing that, and providing both financially, emotionally for them, for you? What was that like, or how do you approach that?
I It's a really interesting question. And when I look back over my process, it's always built on steps. Like everything I experienced before I was even a social worker, when I was a child, and all my struggles as a young person built me into this next role, right? So it's always been kind of built off other things. The idea of the balance and is we I did recognize I found mine. Let me back up. I found a lot of different lessons as I walked through my adulthood. One of them being mindfulness and the idea
Mm,
of
great.
John Kabat-Zinn. There was a line in one of his books where he talks about um, when I go to work, that's not my time, but when I come home, that's my time. And he challenged that thought, and he said, well, what? Our time is always our time, whether you're at work or not. And it was like really hit me very strongly because it was a mindset shift where it was like,
Yes.
what can I do with the time I have? I can go home and watch TV for 3 hours, right? Or I could put a little step into this thing, you know? And I like to use the word deliberate a lot because it's not just, well, I'm waiting for the next thing to happen or I'm waiting for an opportunity to come up, but how do I get deliberate about making opportunities happen? And then even when I get all this, or in terms of practice and this success, it can distract from my family time. So now I need to say, I need to be really deliberate about when I'm home and sometimes I'm good at this, sometimes not, right? Is making sure the phone's down, making sure, I'm there with my kids. And I would lie to you if I said I
The
was successful every time. I wasn't, but I really have to make those deliberate choices to be present.
and be And be present.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's it. That was the end word. Yes.
yeah.
And be present.